What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode. I'm SwipaCam. Welcome to my channel. If you want to talk about more exclusive NBA and NFL content, hit that subscribe button, hit the logo. We talk about all things sports. Now, we do focus on the Denver Nuggets and Denver Broncos more than anything else, but we open to any conversation. We have conversations in the comment section all the time. Join the family, join the channel, hit subscribe. Today, though, we're going to talk about Nikola Jokic. Nikola Jokic, and why he should be the leading MVP NBA candidate this season. Nikola Jokic should be at the top of any discussion about MVPs this year, and we're going to talk about why. All the data, all the numbers support the argument that Nikola Jokic is currently the best player in the NBA. The best player in NBA. Not top 5, not top 3, but all the data supports that he is the best player in the NBA, and we're going to get into it right now. Now, Nikola Jokic is currently leading. Now, you can go to Basketball Reference, by the way. You can go to NBA.com, look at the advanced number, look at the per-game numbers, and they'll tell the story for you. I'm just relaying information to you. Now, this is what the numbers say. Nikola Jokic is currently leading the NBA in PER, with a PER score of 30.6. He's the only player in the NBA with a PER over 30 this season. He's been outplaying every player on a player efficiency rating scale all season. All season. A 30.6 is an outrageous number. An outrageous number. Okay, that's not it though. He is currently third in the NBA in assist percentage with a 47.3 score behind Luka, Doncic, and James Harden. A center, a 7-foot Serbian center. A 7-foot Serbian center is third in the NBA in assist percentage. What? Crazy. Behind James Harden and Luka Doncic only. But guess what? He's doing this with a usage percentage that's 28th in the NBA. His usage number is 27.7. 28th in the NBA. What that means is he's the most efficient, most effective player in the NBA, and he is not near the top of the list in terms of usage, meaning he's not holding the ball every possession. Now, Jokic does touch the ball essentially every possession for the Denver Nuggets, but when he touches it, he's either looking to pass, he goes to the basket, mid-range, three-pointer, or he gets into the free throw line. Super efficient. He doesn't waste time. Man, 28th in usage percentage. But here's where it starts to get real. Nikola Jokic is currently first in offensive win shares, meaning contributing to the wins offensively in the NBA. He's first in offensive win shares. He's currently first in overall win shares with a score of 2.6. First overall in win shares, a score of 2.6, meaning who's doing the most to add to the victories and success of their basketball team. Nikola Jokic is number 1. He's currently second in win shares per 48 at 2.96. But here, he's second in offensive box plus minus with a 7.9. I believe Vucevic is the one leading. Nikola Vucevic from the Orlando Magic having a great year. He's leading the NBA in offensive box plus minus. But here you go. Nikola Jokic is second in the NBA in defensive box plus minus with a score of 3.2, only behind Bam Adebayo. That's crazy. Now, when I said this on Twitter, folks were saying that's why you can't trust advanced stats, because any stat that would suggest that Jokic may be the second most effective defensive player in the NBA, that's crazy. Can't be telling the truth, because Jokic can't play defense. But y'all, what people don't understand about Jokic is Jokic has always been a great team defender. But since Jokic has lost weight and his conditioning is what it is, he strength trains after every single game now in his career. He's entering the first year of his prime, his age 25 season. Jokic has always been a great team defender, but he is a great and amazing defender in the post, and he always gets in the way of drivers that are driving to the lanes unless he's in foul trouble, but he's rarely in a bad spot. His feet are rarely out of position. His body is rarely out of position. So he is the second most effective defensive player because of the scheme, partially, that Denver plays, but because he doesn't make mistakes on defense. And you know how I know this? Because his steal percentage, currently he's 7th in the NBA in steal percentage with a steal percentage of 2.7. He's currently 5th in the NBA with an average of 2.4 steals per game. Again, he's not a Joel Embiid. He's not an Anthony Davis at the rim, meaning he's not a shot blocker. Those two are shot blockers. That's not Jokic's game. Jokic steals. He plays great team defense, y'all. He's second in defensive box plus minus, only behind Bam Adebayo because he's a good defender. Jokic is a two-way player. He's not the same kind of two-way player that Kawhi Leonard is, not the same kind of two-way player that Paul George is, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Anthony Davis, because those are like out in space. I'm going to guard you, and I'm going to do a good job out there. I'm going to do a good job 1 through 5. That's not how he plays. Jokic is a great interior team defender who steals from guards all the time because they don't expect his hands to be as quick and efficient as they are. Yo, that's a great number. Let's get the man his respect for that. Now, this is the crazy thing. Jokic is first in box plus minus. So defensive box plus minus, offensive box plus minus combined. Jokic is first in box plus minus with a score of 10.7. The next closest player has a score of 9.6. That's an outrageous margin. An outrageous margin. Jokic is leading the NBA in box plus minus, and he's the only player with a score over 10 in the entire NBA 12 games through the season. Meaning that when he is on the court, he is making the biggest difference by far. By far. The biggest difference by far when he is on the court in each NBA game this year. A 10.7, y'all? That's nuts. And now, first in VORP. What is VORP? VORP is value over replacement player. He's leading the NBA with a score of 1.3. All the data is screaming at us, telling us that Jokic is having a season unlike any other. Now, here's where it's crazy. So if you go to Basketball Reference, they have an MVP tracker. What it does, it compiles all the data, all the raw numbers, the advanced numbers. It compiles all the data to tell you who, just based on the numbers, efficiency, plus minus, PER, VORP, effectiveness overall, who should be leading the NBA MVP discussion. This is what Basketball Reference had to say. They said that Jokic is first overall with a 35.1% probability that he's going to win the MVP this year. A 35.1. The next closest player is LeBron James with a score of around 15. Jokic is leading the MVP tracker with all the data combined with a 20% head start, a 20% lead over any other player in the NBA. The list is Jokic first, LeBron James second, Anthony Davis third, Kevin Durant fourth, and Joel Embiid fifth. But Jokic has a 20 percentage point lead over everybody else at least. Yet Bleacher Report, NBA.com, they don't even have Jokic in the top 3. And a lot of this, I believe, is because the way that people watch basketball, they love watching LeBron James. He's playing in the biggest market in the NBA. You got the East Coast bias. You got the Texas bias. But little old Denver, surely they're not putting a player out like this. And again, a center typically doesn't get that kind of love on an MVP tracker. They don't. And they definitely don't get it when they're not super athletic like a Joel Embiid or Anthony Davis, who's really a power forward but plays the 5 sometimes. When they're not Shaq, they typically don't get that kind of respect. But Jokic is so remarkably good that he is clearly the leading candidate for MVP for Basketball Reference. Now, here's the thing. Jokic is currently averaging 24.2 points per game, 11.2 rebounds per game, which is 7th in the NBA, and he's second overall with 10.4 assists per game behind only James Harden. And he's 5th with 2.4 steals per game. Y'all, so NBA.com, they put out the graphic to show that up to this point, 12 games into the season, the only player in NBA history with the combined data points of points, rebounds, and assists, the only player in NBA history who has put up numbers comparable to what Jokic is doing right now is Oscar Robertson. Oscar Robertson, the only player in NBA history. But here's the thing. In NBA history, no player has been this efficient and this effective with those numbers ever. Nikola Jokic is currently putting up an NBA season that has literally, statistically, never been matched before in NBA history. Meaning that he's averaging a triple-double, but his efficiency is bonkers. Meaning that if he wanted to, Jokic could be putting up 30, 15 if he wanted to, but he's not. because he's trying to win the game the right way. Y'all, if you watch the Nuggets play, he's not hunting for stats. It's just that he's so effective right now. I have never seen Jokic play this well. I have watched the Nuggets for I have never seen Jokic play this well. You all the numbers are telling the story. They're telling us who the best player in the NBA is right now. Now, again, is he better all time than LeBron James? Of course not. LeBron James, to me, I've been watching him since 2002. He's been my favorite player in the NBA since 2003, basically. Y'all, LeBron James is GOAT. Him or LeBron James and Michael Jordan, you pick one. Best player of all time. You can put Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in there if you want to as well. But Jokic right now is outplaying everyone. And it's not close. So let's have an honest dialogue about this. Again, Jokic doesn't play in LA. It hurts him. He doesn't play in New York. He doesn't play in Brooklyn. It hurts him. But again, if you just put the blind data up on effectiveness in the game, Jokic is clearly the MVP right now. And again, the Nuggets are 6-6. They've lost 4 games they shouldn't have lost this year. They're typically a really clutch team. They could be 10-2 right now, but that's the way basketball works. You're integrating 7 new players. You're trying to figure out. You come off of a short break. They're 6-6. They're struggling. So I'm recording this on January 17th. They still got to play the Utah Jazz tonight when I have another video coming out. But y'all, let's give Jokic his flowers, man. You know, the other day when he finished playing the Golden State Warriors, he was being interviewed by Shaquille O'Neal, Ernie Johnson, and Kenny and Charles on inside the NBA. And Shaq, you know, trying to be funny, you know, trying to kind of buy into Jokic's culture, he quoted some Russian to him, not realizing that Jokic is from Serbia. He's from Sombor. And I'm just like, at this point in the NBA, how do you not know that Jokic is from Serbia, that Giannis is from Greece, even though his parents were African immigrants, he's Greek. And then on top of that Doncic is Slovenian. Like, how do you not know this? If you're working in the NBA, but again, it's because people don't pay attention to Jokic like they should. It's just a fact. It's just a fact. He's underappreciated. He's underloved, partially because of the way he looks, partially because English is not his first language, partially because he's Serbian, partially because aesthetically he's not LeBron James and Anthony Davis or even Joel Embiid in terms of looking like a dominant player. He just is the most dominant player in the NBA right now. Give the man his respect. Again, Basketball Reference is telling you, all the data combined, Jokic 35.1% probability, leading by 20 percentage points, leading NBA MVP candidate right now. Meaning, if the season stopped today, Jokic is MVP. Y'all, this is not to take away from the great seasons that Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant, James Harden, Luka Doncic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, LeBron James, Steph Curry, not to take away from any of the seasons they're having. Jokic is just that much better. This is the first year of his prime, and he looks the part, and he's efficient while averaging a triple-double. Give the man his flowers. Leading MVP candidate. Y'all, let me know in the comments section. Let me know how you feel. Make an argument for your player. Make an argument for your favorite player. Tell me why I'm tripping. Make an argument for Jokic if you want to make it. Again, I realize that this is the Nuggets channel, but again, if LeBron was having the season, I would say the same thing. If Anthony Davis was having the season, I would say the same thing, but they're not. Jokic is. Let's give him his flowers, y'all. Let's make sure we're telling people. Okay, Jokic is second in defensive box plus minus. He's fifth in the NBA in steals. He's a great defender. Kill that narrative that he's not a good defender. He's a great defender. Again, he doesn't look the part, but he's getting it done. Y'all, let me know. I'm SwipaCam. Let me know in the comments what you think. I'll have another video coming out tonight after the Nuggets play the Utah Jazz. Yo, we in here. Subscribe to the channel. SwipaCam. We out.